Good morning, everybody. It is May 3rd, 2018, 6:07 a.m. Alright, quick Doppler radar look right now. We can see this big moisture system moving over the central area of the U.S. We had a lot of tornado reports in Kansas overnight. Massive amounts of hail. We have flooding going on in Chicago. A bunch of Chicago rivers are cresting at this moment. There is a lot of moisture in this system, guys, and there's a reason for that, and that's because of our super warm temperatures we've been having. It's basically a heat wave going on, especially in the Northeast. We topped out almost at 90 degrees yesterday in some areas of Pennsylvania and southern New York. It cooled down a little bit as you got to the coast, and then a little bit inland, even northern areas of West Virginia and Virginia, we're talking about 88 to 90 degree weather. But let's talk about this storm front we have coming. Look at all this lightning going on in all the way from Texas, stretching all the way up to Illinois. Every one of these flashes right here is a live lightning flash. Sorry about my throat, a little hoarse this morning. I feel fine though, so no worries there. Each one of these circles you see pulsing is a lightning strike current going on as we speak, live chart. Any of you can check this out. Just type in lightning chart in Google, basically. There's all sorts of them. Or you can go to spaghettimodels.com, which is a very good site for a lot of different charts and stuff that I use on this channel. Alright, so here are the rain rates expected over the next 5 days. We could see an average of 1 inch basically from excuse me, guys, central Texas all the way up through basically the Ohio River Valley, touching over Louisiana, especially through Arkansas. We got Missouri in there. Big pockets of rain expected in the next day and a half over Iowa, all the way up through the Great Lakes, and then the entire Northeast will end up with both of these systems. There's one moving along the top, one getting pulled in from the bottom, and they both are going to meet over the Ohio River Valley. We could be dealing with some flooding issues because there's also a system off into the Atlantic Ocean, which is part of that tropical wave we're talking about, that's going to come through the Bahamas, possibly affecting east side of Florida, maybe southern areas as far south as Miami, possibly even the Keys are involved in there. A little bit of rain surrounding these entire blue areas. The darker the color, the higher the rain rate. So we have some areas in here that are expected to get 2 inches of rain, especially central Texas. That is coming up. That's going to be a pretty significant situation. The main issue here, guys, is hail, strong winds, and tornadoes. There's been a lot reported over the last 24 hours. And the reason for it is because of this central low pressure system that we have been talking about the last couple days. This thing has finally passed through the Rockies. It has made its way clear into Kansas and Oklahoma, which is why I brought up this article about what is going on with these tornadoes. Tornadoes reported in Oklahoma, Kansas as powerful storms blast the central U.S. So this is a mainstream media situation as far as the weather goes. We got flash flooding going on. Sorry about the skipping around. Flash flooding, isolated tornadoes will threaten lives and property over part of central United States early into Thursday. So we are right in the smack middle of that. Here is a close-up Doppler of some of the weather moving through Missouri into Illinois right now. The heads of these storms and the fronts right in front of them, that's where you want to watch out for those tornadoes. We have tornado risks obviously down in Oklahoma as well. So people that live in any of these areas or diagonal up, which is where this system seems to be moving, local weather needs to be on, your little transistor radio things need to be on, and obviously taking shelter if need be. This is a pretty serious situation. This is going all the way from Texas all the way up through the Great Lakes, basically. Here's a little bit of a detailed view of some of the weather. We got Chicago right here. Like I said, some of the areas in Chicago have been flooding. Streams, creeks, getting a lot of water. Flood advisory until 3 a.m. for light green shaded area from parts of Lee and LaSalle to Cook County. Do not travel across flooded roads, but we all know that here, especially after last hurricane season. So here you have it. There's some maps we got here. Let's scroll down a little more. 11:50 p.m. This was Wednesday night, so this was some of the warnings going into last night into overnight. Severe storms are rolling through southeast Kansas, triggering extensive damage. So we have a lot of high winds going on, including the tornadoes. It doesn't take just a tornado to cause damaging winds. We have damaging winds and hail and tornadoes across the plains. So basically this began yesterday. We talked about this a little bit Yesterday we involved Oklahoma City, which is right here, so this big strip of storms passed right over that. Tornado Central with stuff like this. When you get these long, stringy storms, they bring a lot of power, a lot of punch all at once, and they spin things up. You get tornadoes from it, guys, so that's why this is peak season. We are in the first week of May. May usually gets the highest average tornado count as far as touchdowns out of the entire year, so this is just some stuff earlier before this passed through Kansas City, some of the touchdowns of tornadoes we had. Belton, Missouri, where was this? Tornado has been confirmed near Belton, Missouri. Okay, there we go. So we had gusts over 80 miles per hour. That is hurricane force, so this is no small feat, guys. Here's some of the hail we were talking about. Not quite softball size. Some areas did get softball size hail, but this is scattered all over that strip of storms we're watching. Almost a 3-inch diameter chunk of hail. If that hits your car, the siding of your house, it will break. Look at this pile here. Pretty crazy stuff, like a giant ice storm. So on and so forth. You could check out this website. A lot of damaging winds. Looks like this is the Chicago area. Some tops of roofs are ripped off. So we got a lot going on. We got to check this out on another chart here. I want you to see the explosion of moisture involved with this storm. Now check this out. It begins just north of that strip on Oklahoma and then over Kansas. This is why Kansas was in such a high risk overnight last night and continuing this morning. Look how high these clouds are peaking here, guys. We're talking possibly up to 60,000 feet. These clouds are up in the air, exploding with the storms underneath them, just dropping massive amounts of rain. Now we see the entire state of Oklahoma basically covered in not just red, but that dark black color. That is massive amounts of moisture, lots of high winds. Central area of low pressure is right around here. So as this thing spins, it's whipping these winds up. We have a west to east shear wind. We have upflow from the Gulf. So all these different crisscrossing atmospheric winds basically are causing all these high wind issues on the ground. Now as we move forward into time, this is current time right now, you can see there's some blotchy areas over Oklahoma. We move into Missouri. Missouri is expected to get actually, as we speak, is getting significant weather. And then we move into Illinois and even Indiana. You possibly have risk for tornadoes with this front moving here. This is a very, very big front causing a lot of damaging winds and hail. So that's what we're dealing with. That's the topic of today. We got high winds, we got hail, we got tornadoes stretching all the way from central Texas to all the way just under the Great Lakes. And then this entire mess is going to move right into the northeast, basically saturating the weekend. Anywhere from basically late on tonight through Monday, Tuesday, and then we talk about another system that is making its way off the Pacific Ocean into the upper northwest. So we'll be talking about that later on this afternoon or tomorrow morning. Ventus sky isn't showing much as today. We got a little spinach going up in the Pacific Oceans, possibly some tropical depression situations. Again, that is for another video. You can see here up by the U.S., just by the Bahamas actually, they are tracking that tropical wave we've been talking about. Alright guys, so if you want to check out this article, go to www.accuweather.com, and it should be one of the first two topics that they're talking about today as far as severe weather. So a lot going on, guys. We have this thing moving right across the country, central country, moving up to the northeast, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and then the west sides of Kentucky and Tennessee. Be on alert. And then we got this strip down in Oklahoma making its way over the northwest part of Arkansas too, so they should be on alert as well if you have not already turned on your local weather. Alright guys, hope everyone has a great morning. It's a little warm in the northeast right now. I'm not complaining. It's very nice in the morning. Alright guys, talk to you all very soon. Bye bye.